Hi guys, so I'm going to be reading part of the first book of The Lord of the Rings, only like 2 pages. That's one, a long expected part. When Mr. Bilbo Baggins of Bag End announced that he would shortly be celebrating his 11th birthday with a party of special magnificence, there was much talk of excitement in Hobbiton. Bilbo was very rich and very peculiar, and had been the wonder of the Shire for 60 years, ever since his remarkable disappearance and unexpected return. The riches he had brought back from his travels had now become a local legend, and it was popularly believed, whatever the old folk might say, that the hill at Bag End was full of tunnels stuffed with treasure, and if that was not enough for fame, there was also his prolonged vinegar to marvel at. Time wore on, but it seemed to have little effect on Mr. Baggins. At 90, he was much the same as at 50. At 99, they began to call him well preserved, but unchanged would have been nearer the mark. There were some that shook their heads and thought this was too much of a good thing. It seemed unfair that everyone else should possess apparently perennial wealth as well as reputedly inexhaustible wealth. It will have to be paid for, they said. It isn't natural, and trouble will come of it. But so far trouble had not come. Mr. Baggins was generous with money. Most people were willing to forgive him for his oddities and his good fortune. He remained on visiting terms with his relatives, except of course the Sackville Bagginses, and he had many devoted admirers along the hobbits of poor unimportant families, but he had no close friends until some of his younger cousins began to grow up. The eldest of these, Bilbo's favourite, was young Frodo Baggins. When Bilbo was 99, he adopted Frodo as his hire, and brought him back to live at Bag End, and the hopes of the Sackville Bagginses were finally dashed. Bilbo and Frodo happened to have the same birthday, September 22nd. You had a better day to come here better come and live here, Frodo, my lad, said Bilbo one day, and then we can celebrate our birthday parties comfortably together. At that time, Frodo was still in his tweens, as the hobbits called the irresponsible 20s between childhood and coming of age at 33. 12 more years passed, and each year the Bagginses had been given very lively combined birthday parties at Bag End, but now it was understood that something quite exceptional was planned for that autumn. Bilbo was going to be 111, a rather curious number, and a very respectable age for a hobbit. The old Took himself had only reached 130, and Frodo was going to be 33, an important number, the date of his coming of age. Tongues began to wag in Hobbiton and Bywater, and rumour of the coming event travelled all over the Shire. The history of the character and Mr. Bilbo Baggins became once again and the chief topic of conversation, and the older folk suddenly found their reminiscences. I don't know how to say that word. In welcome demand. No one had more authoritative audience than old Ham Gammy, commonly known as the Gaffer. He held forth at the Ivy Bush, a small inn on Bywater Road, and he spoke with some authority, and he tended the garden at Bag End for 40 years, and had helped old Holman in the same job before that. Now that he was himself growing old and stiff in the joints, the job was mainly carried on by his youngest son, Sam Gammy. Both father and son were on very friendly terms with Bilbo and Frodo. They lived on the end of the hill itself in number 3 Bagshot Road, just below Bag End. A very nice, well-spoken, gentle hobbit is Mr. Bilbo, as I've always said, the Gaffer declared. The perfect truth, for Bilbo was very polite to him, calling him Mr. Handfast and consulting him constantly upon the growing of vegetables. It was a matter of roots, especially potatoes. The Gaffer was recognised as the leading authority by all in the neighbourhood by all in the neighbourhood, including himself. I'm going to stop there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed me reading. I'm sorry if I got some of the words wrong. It's not my fault. I can read. It's just I don't usually read my books out loud, and I find it quite hard to read my books out loud because it's something to do. It's not really I have like a speech impediment, but sometimes I find it hard to say words properly. Anyway, bye guys.